Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas in the lineage, and special mention to my Shiksha Gurus, Radhesham Prabhuji, Madhusudan Vishnudas Prabhuji, Leelan Prabhu, who has given this opportunity to serve in whatever minion way I could. First of all, my apologies that first time I'm starting the session late by 5 minutes. I never did this. I'm really sorry for that. Okay. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji's, Dandot Pranam. How are you? All good? Good. Actually, when we were chanting, everyone knows English here, right? Mataji, English, you know? Yeah, that's good. So, when we were chanting Maha Mantra, I was just for a split of a second, I just opened my eyes and seen Chinnappa Reddy Prabhu. He was closing his eyes and chanting. It's very nice to see. So, just to set the context, today we are doing 10th chapter, which is about opulence of the Lord. And when I saw Chinnappa Reddy Prabhu, he was meditating, right? So generally meditation is done, how we generally meditate? What is our eyes position when we meditate? So that's a closed meditation. Closed eye meditation, what Chinnappa Reddy Prabhu are doing, and most of them do, right? Meditation. But in the 10th chapter, the 9th chapter already Krishna mentioned, right? That finally he concludes the 9th chapter saying that always remember me, always worship me, always think of me, always pay obeisances to me. So, in fact, Krishna says that 9th chapter is the best. In fact, he quotes, it is the best chapter. But again, in 10th chapter, Krishna says that it is better than the 9th chapter. Why did he say? 9th chapter he says it's the best, it's the best knowledge. But 10th chapter he says it is better than the 9th chapter. But when compared to best, can something be better than that? Why did he say? Any guesses? I'll correlate why I brought Chinnappa Reddy Prabhu's thing, meditation, I will tell. Why did he say that 10th chapter is best than 9th chapter? Any guesses?
In 10th chapter, basically God shows his opulence and you can see with open eyes and realize that.
10th chapter, okay.
10th chapter.
Okay. Yeah, I take that. But just to tell, you know, 9th chapter, Krishna says what to do. Krishna says what to do. You think of me, you have to do this. You think of me, you remember me, you pay obeisances to me, you worship me. That's what Krishna says in the 9th chapter and ends it. But in the 10th chapter, he says how to do it. 9th chapter is what to do, 10th chapter predictions. 10th chapter is about how to do. ఎలా చేయాలి మనం 9th chapter అంతా ఏం చేయాలి, 10th chapter వచ్చేసి ఎలా చేయాలి. Which is more important? Because being born in India, we know to some extent that we need to, worship Lord, and even and in fact majority of the people, whether they believe fully or not, they at least whenever a temple is passed by, they give a chumma, or at least some kind of faith is there. But 10th chapter, why Krishna says that it is more important is how to do it, how to remember me, how to think of me. That's what he conveys it in 10th chapter. And when now I am connecting to Chinnappa Reddy Prabhu's meditation of closed eye meditation. Now in 10th chapter, Krishna says that how to do open eye meditation. Open eye meditation. Have you heard of it? Anyone? Open eye meditation. Okay. So that is the link between 9th chapter and 10th chapter is the same. That he ends the 9th chapter with that, and in the 10th chapter, the connection between the 9th chapter and 10th chapter is the same. He tells what, and in the 10th chapter he tells how to. How to do. How to do, he says. Okay. So these are just a quick recap of the 9th chapter what we did. He says Bhagavad-Gita is a condensed. What this 9th chapter is the king of education. He reconfirms that Bhagavad-Gita knowledge is the king of all education. Till now, whoever, when I wanted answers from you, except in your life, in your respective lives, at some part of your age, you might have first known about Bhagavad Gita or first read Bhagavad Gita, even if you don't understand or you understood. Whenever you first opened Bhagavad Gita or tried to know about Bhagavad Gita, what was the best knowledge in front of you before Bhagavad Gita? I want responses from everyone. What was the best knowledge or best education or best book or best knowledge you thought before touching Bhagavad Gita or before reading Bhagavad Gita or before knowing about Bhagavad Gita? I can tell, before coming to ISKCON, though I heard about Bhagavad Gita, cricket was my favorite. Cricket is the ultimate, you get wonderful enjoyment. I used to work as an umpire as well in the Hyderabad Cricket Association here. I used to work for umpire for almost 2 to 3 years out of love for cricket. I played a lot of matches in UK and also with some county matches there. Not county, in fact, there are league matches, district level matches in UK for 2 years of stay there. So I used to love cricket a lot. And before coming to ISKCON and all, every week I used to go to cricket tournaments. So the cricket was the most, not even my mathematics and all, but cricket was the most loved education or most loved thing what I cherish to know about more. In cricket there are 42 laws. There are 42 laws of cricket. So as an umpire we should know what are those 42 laws. Okay, anyway, that's a different thing. So like that, what was your favorite topic or favorite education, Harishna, before you came to know about Bhagavad Gita? Everyone has to answer. किसी को छोड़ने का नहीं. And you have to tell me the reason also. Okay, if you are not telling, I'll have to pick the names. Yeah.
So I think at different stages of life, different things were there. While we studied, as you said, cricket also was my passion. I used to play zonal level and all in schools. In college also I did that. But when I passed out of college, then it was what to do now. What to do, because that was not a career as such.
Right.
And then it was okay having some degree. Either I was from science background. I'm from science background. So for science it was IIT and medical and all that.
Right.
So IIT and all I did try once.
Right.
So it was pretty good. And then I moved to commerce background. And then I did CA. Right. So and that was the highest degree for me, because then there's in the commerce field there's highest degree.
Yes.
So I said okay, this needs to need to achieve this.
Yeah.
So for me that was highest. Right. Because that was something which would give me something in the right life. Now as per now in materialistic world it would give something to me. So that was what I would say.
That's good. Some more answers. So Prabhuji mentioned that was his favorite education or best education at that time or before coming in contact with Bhagavad Gita. What about you, Prabhu? Krishna, Satya Prabhu. మీరు చిన్నప్పుడు నా భగవద్గీత అంటారు అయితే
industrial experience, as a shift in charge of ammonia plant. Every shift, they are producing some 20 tons per hour.
Okay.
As a shift in charge, I want to put 21.5 or 21 like that to achieve more in the production.
Right.
Everybody appreciating how you are getting.
That's good. So that's about, Krishna says in the 9th chapter, there's the Bhagavad Gita is the king of the education. He confirms, there is no doubt about it, king of education. And that's why Raja Vidya they say. Bhagavad Gita is also called Raja Vidya. And the second part, what we learned in the 9th chapter was the relationship of the God and this world, this material world. What is the relation? That's what he mentioned in the 9th chapter. Like, this expansion of from myself, but I am not directly run this world. I have my Maya, Durga Devi or Lord Shiva to take care of material world, but it is emanating from him only. So that's what he mentions about the relationship of him and this world. And we came to know about different types of worshippers also in the 9th chapter. And similarly, and among the different types of worshipper, who is the best? Who is the best? That's what he mentioned in the last part, that is devotee. Devotee who is dedicated his life for Krishna. And greatness of devotee of Krishna. And what is the greatness of that devotee? Who thinks of Krishna, who talks about Krishna, who walks with Krishna, who does everything with Krishna. Because Krishna is the ultimate, Krishna is the absolute. So with that kind of a consciousness, whoever is there, he loves them. That's the greatness of devotee he mentions in the 9th chapter, and he ends that I like them and manmana bhava madbhakto. Think of me, worship me, pay obeisances to me, remember me. But now he gets into more detail. So in the this is the 9th chapter, quick glance wherein he mentions about this relationship and different types, and again these are the numbers what you are seeing are these slokas. 1 to 3 he mentioned about the greatness of Bhagavad-Gita. 4 to 10 he mentions about the relationship of himself with this world. And similarly 11 to 25 who are the different kinds of worshippers, and greatness of devotee of Krishna he mentions from 26 to 34. So that's what he covers. So now in this chapter, what are the practical difficulties? How practically you can remember Krishna? Everyone knows. Being born in India, everyone knows that God is great. We should know about God. Everyone knows. But how to remember? That's a practical difficulty, how to remember. So practical difficulty is, when remembering Krishna, and we have, when being in a Grihastha ashram, especially we, Krishna has not chosen any rishi or a brahmachari to tell the Bhagavad Gita. He has chosen a family man, Grihastha. He has chosen a Grihastha to tell Bhagavad Gita. And it is indirectly applicable for every one of us. Because with the kind of responsibilities we do, when being associated with our office, corporate, or the kind of people we meet on a daily basis, it's very difficult to remember Krishna, right? Yes or no? Do you agree or not? Yeah, it's very difficult. It's not only about office and all. My granddaughter, my daughter-in-law, I have trouble. My father-in-law, I have trouble. Mother-in-law, I have trouble. My dad, I have a trouble. My daughter, I have a trouble. So lot of all these things, it doesn't make us remember Krishna. Do you agree or not? ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళకు ఒక్కొక్క ఫిట్టింగ్ పెడతాడు. So we need to understand that. So Krishna talks about, Arjuna tells about open eye meditation. What is that open eye meditation? So now we dwell into the 10th chapter. Okay. So but before dwelling into 10th chapter, this is a story of Krishna Priya Devi Dasi Mataji. Anyone knows her? Anyone heard of her? Okay. It's a little story how Bhagavad Gita has influenced her life. She is from Rajasthan, Jaipur, and she was suffering with. She is not a normal child. From birth, she was having a physical deformity, and she was not. We can't call physically handicapped, but some physically deformity was there. We can call it as handicapped also, but there was some issue with the body and mind also for her. But she was able to speak and communicate, but the physical ailment was there to her. So that's how she has taken birth, and she used to think why it has happened to me, why God this to me, why all these things have happening to me only, what sin I did. All these negative emotions have been going through her to her. And at that time she has come across Bhagavad Gita as it is from Srila Prabhupada, and she read about it, and she has taken she started her journey, and somehow her brother has been a really close confidant of her, wherein he used to help her a lot, and finally she got married. And she left to US, and in the US she has come to know about a dangerous medical phenomenon, wherein it's a very rare thing where the brain of a human little bit gets dragged near to the spinal cord. Our brain is here, but it got dragged little bit down to her. So that's a ailment or disease what she got, and they tried a lot of doctors in US, but none could rectify or place that in a proper location in the head, and she has been suffering. She has been going through a lot of pain, and finally everyone has given up, in fact, and she came back to her home in Jaipur, and her brother was hell-bent. He has been trying a lot to get this cured, and he has tried a lot of options, but there is no proper way to find out, and finally got hold of two doctors who said that we are able to deal that problem of that issue, whatever she was facing, they are ready to deal. Then she was given an option on through which doctors she has to go through the surgery. She has been given option of these two doctors, among these two doctors with whom she wanted to go ahead with the surgery. Okay, so then she went with she has told about Srila Prabhupada and the influence what he has in her life to both the doctors. But one doctor was not very appreciative about Srila Prabhupada, and another doctor know about Srila Prabhupada, and he was very appreciative and respected towards Srila Prabhupada. So she has chosen that doctor who was at least was respectful towards Srila Prabhupada. Okay, and then she has gone with the surgery, and before the surgery, she has been very much influenced, and before the surgery, in fact, their family members have completely given up, because there was no history they could find out that this kind of ailment was ever cured, or the chances are very less, very less, and family members were almost prepared that she will not come out of surgery successfully. So with as she read Bhagavadgita, and before the surgery she was very happy, and nurse was asking her, how come you are going to surgery, you are very happy? Then she tells the nurse, saying that Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada and Krishna said that all the life is an exam, and this is the preparation, and this is the exam time. So we need to be prepared. What we need to do? We need to think about Krishna, remember Krishna, and chant the holy names of Krishna. And she was chanting till surgery, and it was looking very little bit maddish to other people who are looking at it. But till the surgery, she was chanting holy names, anesthesia kept, holy names. But with that remembrance only, she, anesthesia was given, and she was calm, and the surgery went on, and the surgery was successful. And she came out, and she was very happy, and and she was having a desire of writing poems or writing about Krishna, or spread the message of Krishna in whatever way she could. And after she went back to Jaipur, and she was she is now fine now, but after a couple of months she got infected with lot of people were coming and meeting her, and due to that she got infection, and again she back to the same even worse situation now. And even those doctors who operated, they never promised, they promised that she will be alive, but she will be normal or not, they never promised. But after the surgery was done, doctor checked, she was normal, she was talking about Srila Prabhupada and all. But again, second time she went to the same situation, and this time the doctor who did that surgery also hands up. He told that he can't do anything. Then some Ayurveda, some people have contacted, and they told that you need to go through steam kind of they do, right? Steam therapy. steam therapy is there, and that too in the month of May. May, when it is completely summer, completely hot, and Rajasthan, it is like more hot. Believe me, I have stayed in Rajasthan for 6 years, from UKG till 5th class. I know how the May month is there in Rajasthan. So so Mataji somehow she got queued up, and and she thought of the same thing, like see, Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada. There is a sloka in our life, happiness and sadness both are like winter and summer. It will go and come. Now I am in a bad phase, again I will come good phase. So see, she understood that from Bhagavad-Gita, and after she came out of that steam therapy, she was perfectly fine, and then she has written these books, and she has spent all the life for Krishna, and she has written all these books. So this is some kind of inspiration for people. There are a lot of examples like that where people got inspiration from Bhagavad Gita. After I told this story to my girl, my daughter Bhavika, she said, "Daddy, you are quoting Krishna Priya Dasi Mataji's name. Please quote my name also." Actually, for the last 3 months, she was suffering a lot with the pain of wisdom teeth. She got wisdom teeth. So with that wisdom teeth, it is unproportionately it grew in the teeth. So it's very not good. So finally, she went to yesterday, Friday, she got the both the wisdom teeth on the top and the down removed. So even her mother was invited, but mother told I can't see all this. So she was not there, and she went alone. And she said that I remembered Krishna, Daddy. So even while the surgery was going on, I was remembering Krishna a little bit. Pain was there when the anesthesia injection they have given on the tooth. But after that, I was only remembering Krishna like that. She was mentioning. So that's good, Bhavika, that you remembered Krishna like that. I was telling her. So it's not about my girl, but there are a lot of examples like Krishna, Priya Devi, Dasi, and lot of examples. The kind of situation she is in. But especially in the material world, what we don't have any physical ailments, we don't have any mental issues, but still we don't believe. But sometimes, I get a thought, sometimes we are really, the kind of faith the people have with those kind of ailments have is much more than the normal people like us. Sometimes that is a blessing in disguise, we say, right? When we are blind, there is no other go. We can't see negative things at all. But now, mobile, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, all these things we have to see. Nonsense we have to see. Okay? But like this, there are a lot of stories, but we need to understand. And let's go ahead with the next, that is 10th chapter, about Krishna. Here Krishna discusses about his greatness. He says, "Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my friend." Here this comment is very important. Hita kamyaya. I am, I think a benefit about yourself. When you say, I think benefit of you, already we know why he thinks benefit, because he is a friend and he is not envious of Krishna. Arjuna is a friend and also not envious. That's why he thinks best for Arjuna. When he says best for Arjuna, it is best for us, mankind, for all of us. Hita kamyaya. Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend, for your benefit. That for your benefit is for us, for our benefit. For your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. So he mentions about Krishna, for his awareness. Krishna describes about his greatness, with which he can, with which a common man can also understand. మామూలు రిక్షావాడు కూడా అర్థం చేసుకునే విధంగా దేవుడు గొప్పతనం ఏంటి అనేది కృష్ణుడు తన విభూతులతో ఈ అధ్యాయంలో చెప్పడం జరుగుతుంది. ఓకే, నౌ యు సీ ఎనీథింగ్ అరౌండ్ అస్, ఎనీథింగ్ బ్యూటిఫుల్, యూ షుడ్ సీ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ కృష్ణ ఓన్లీ. బట్ దెర్ ఆర్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్, వెన్ వీ సీ సంథింగ్ గ్రేట్ ఇన్ అస్, వీ ఫీల్ ఎన్వియస్. మనం బయట చెప్పుకోగానే లోపల నాకు దక్కనిది వాడికి దక్కింది అనేది కొంచెం పించు ఉంటుంది. బట్ వెన్ ద సేమ్ థింగ్ a person can see that it is a opulence, some part of opulence has come to him. That's a very great part of it. That's what Krishna says. You see anything beautiful, powerful, you should think that it is coming from him only. Okay, so there are, when he says hita, there are different types of friendships. That friend who always wants to benefit us and desires that we should go get happiness is called a suhrut. Do you know how many kinds of friends are there? How many kinds of friends are there? Question. How many kinds of friends are there? Come on. You can do it. ఎన్ని రకాల స్నేహితులు ఉన్నారు? Any guesses? Already one is mentioned here. Suhrut. You should get happiness. It's called Suhrut. He always thinks about our interest. Krishna is such a well-wishing friend of Arjuna and all of us too. So anyway, the 4 kinds of friends are Suhrut, Mitra, Bandhu, 4th one. Suhrut, Mitra, Bandhu, 4th one. Sakha, right. Wonderful. Megha Mataji, right? Your name, Mataji? Suchita, yeah. Recently got added. Yeah. 3 loud Haribols to Suchita Mataji, please. Haribol. You are right. Sakha. Now, Suhrut anyhow, you told that Suhrut means always well-wishing. That friend who always wants to benefit us and desires that we should get happiness is called Suhrut. That is Suhrut. What about Sakha? What is the meaning of Sakha? What is the meaning of Sakha? Sakha, Mitra and Bandhu. Sakha means general friend only. We in a community we form friends. But when he does help us, but in return he might expect help from us also. Right? There is a possibility. My kid asked his friend, hey, on that day I have given you popcorn, no? You should give me no. So that is Sakha, general friend. He doesn't think negative about us, for sure. But some kind of exchanges are there. That is Sakha. Huh? Reciprocate. There is nothing wrong about it. You give gift. In return, you also take gift. Nothing wrong about it. All the 4 things are nothing wrong about it. But you need to understand, among all the 4 kinds of categories, Suhrut is the best. He is not expecting anything, but he is thinking about your good only, for your benefit only, but he is not expecting anything in return from you. Suhrut. Sakha means common friend, general friend, where exchanges do happen. Now, what about Mitra and Bandhu? Mitra and Bandhu. What is the meaning of Mitra? What is the meaning of Mitra? Huh? No. वो तो हित है, ये सुहृत है माता जी. 4 कैटेगरी है ना, जो अपन का हित के बारे में ही सोचता है और कुछ आशा नहीं करता है ना, वो सुहृत है. कुछ भी आशा नहीं करता है. अपन का अच्छा ही सोचता है, अपन का अच्छाई के लिए कुछ भी करता है, वो सुहृत है, अल्टीमेट है. वो आपने जो बोला कि जो अपन का हित सोचता है. अभी ये जो मित्र है ना, मित्र बोले तो सोशल फ्रेंड, फेसबुक, ट्विटर, they never meet. Hi, bye, give, telephone. You might be knowing lot of people, but only for the sake of maintaining relationship. क्या जाने भविष्य में उससे क्या आवश्यकता आ जाए अपन को मालूम नहीं. ऐसे we simply maintain relationships. That is a social relationship. That's also friend. Nothing wrong about it. Being in Grostha Ashrama, we do maintain, right? Like we have contacts of our barber is there, vegetable is there, fruits vendor is there. So we know a lot of people, and they also know us. If any help is required, we do. And whenever we have a special relationship with our fruit vendor, only for us only he brings us fruit our house. For others they will go and take from him. But I don't know, we have a special relationship where our fruit vendor comes to our home and gives us to us. It's not that we are expecting, but somehow he brings us to our home and gives the fruits. So we have that relation. Social relationship is nothing but mitra. Now, bandhu is official friends. The work where your colleagues are bandhu. So these are the 4 different categories of friends. So among all the different categories of friends, Surat is the best, where Krishna is the best. Krishna is the best friend because all other friends in this middle world only is for your life, this life only. But Krishna is the friend for ultimate, whether you are this life or next life, he is there with you only. So that's what he's talking about. Okay? So these are the different kinds of friends. Now, in the 10.2, he asks, like, no one knows me, neither my origin nor my opulences. Actually, Krishna mentions that no one knows me. No one knows me. Then Arjuna doubts. Is it? Are you sure no one knows you? Demigods don't know you? Demigods know Krishna? Yes or no? Oh, answer udhar hai na? What about sages? Sages don't know Krishna? No? It is something like, father will be knowing about, for example, Himanshu Prabhu came with Adya. Himanshu Prabhu and Survi Mataji would be knowing about Adya completely. Because they have given birth, so they know about Adya completely. But if you ask Adya, do you know about your dad completely? She might be knowing something, but not completely, right? Adya, are you confident you know about your dad 100%? Are you sure? How much you know about your dad? 90%. 90%.
After born only you see after born. Before that he is having some.
वो कैसे थे, बिफोर कॉलेज में कैसे थे, स्कूल में कैसे थे, क्या क्या करते थे, आपको मालूम है? नहीं है ना? वो ओनली आपको सिर्फ गुड थिंग्स बताया होगा, नेगेटिव थिंग्स नहीं बताएगा. So similarly, all the demigods or sages might be knowing about Krishna something, but not completely. So that's what Krishna mentions, that no one knows me, neither my origin nor my opulences. Then Arjuna doubts, is it? Demigods don't know about you? Rishis don't know about you? That's what Arjuna questions. Then he confirms, yes, they don't know. Because, why? Because all have been originated from me only. అంతే కదా. ఇప్పుడు మన నుంచి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళకి మన గురించి ఏం తెలుస్తుంది కంప్లీట్గా? యా. సో దట్స్ వాట్ వీ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్. సో హీ మెన్షన్స్, Krishna mentions, so in this 10th chapter he tries to give the practical tips to how to remember him. So he is trying to build a context to Arjuna, saying that how to remember him, how to worship him practically, and what is this open eye meditation. We will discuss about that. Okay? So Krishna says that he is the best of the knowledge, and how it can be better than that. That also I explained you. Now, in the 9th chapter he says that you remember me. In the 10th chapter he talks about how to remember me. In the 9th chapter he says you have to love me or worship me. In the 10th chapter he says how to worship him and how to love him. That's what he mentioned. And for developing a love, I already mentioned, for developing a love on one person, you need to know about him completely, or try to make an attempt to know about him completely. So I already given an example of Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli. Okay? So where, why we love them? Because the things what they did for India country, we love them. So similarly, what Krishna did, you should know about him, or his opulences, what he did. And we take pride in, for example, if one of your friend is there, all your childhood you have spent time with him till your 10th class, and you are chatty buddies. We say chatty buddies, right? So chatty buddies, you are playing like they did naughty things, all these things, they are chatty buddies, and suddenly after 10th class they separate. Intermediate, he goes to some other college, he reads in some other college, and he goes to college in some other university, big university, and after 10 to 15 years of a gap, again he contacts. we know that he becomes a company head, company CEO he becomes, but he is still there in the same village as working as a small time teacher, getting a meager salary and working as a teacher. But that, when that friend comes back to village to meet his friends, with proud he tells, right, he is my friend Ray, he is my friend Ray. We used to do that, we take pride, right, when our friend, we know that when our friend is such a great person, right or not? Have you felt that? Yes. So similarly, Arjuna till now he knows about Krishna. He used to play together, they used to sleep also on the same bed sometimes, and they used to do a lot of things together. But suddenly when we come to know that he is great, he is the source of everything, he is such a great person, he felt pride, he felt proud about it, proud about it. So that's what he mentions. Now do you, for that he mentioned already, Krishna mentioned that I am the source of everyone, so that's why they don't know about me. That's a bit illogical. Then Arjuna asks, do you have a source? Krishna has a source? Yes or no? Are you sure? 100%? Lock kar dein? Yes. So I am unborn and beginningless. One who knows this, know all. One who knows this, know all. Now, are the scientists atheists? Question for everyone. Are the scientists atheists? Scientists అంటే తెలుగులో వైజ్ఞానిక. వైజ్ఞానికులందరూ దేవుణ్ణి నమ్మని వాళ్ళ?
At the end, they will come to position that God is there. At least first they are మామూలుగా వాళ్ళు దేవుడిని నమ్మరు. కానీ ఎప్పుడైతే వాళ్ళ రీసెర్చ్ అంతా కంప్లీట్ అవుతుందో, సో ఇదంతా దేవుడి వల్ల జరుగుతుందని లాస్ట్కి రియలైజ్ అవుతుంది.
Good. That's right. So the basic question is, are the scientists atheists? No, they are not. All are not atheists. There are some scientists who are atheists from birth till they die. And as Satya Prabhu rightly mentioned, for devotees, the God is in the beginning. For scientists, the God is in the end. For any research they do, at the end they conclude that God is there. Okay. So now the thing is, even scientists also, there are two categories. One are creationists, second one is evolutionists. Creationists are the people or the scientists who do research and finally come to a conclusion that there is God. And evolutionists are the scientists who never conclude that God is there, despite failures. All this Big Bang, Darwin theory, and all are evolutionists. They don't believe God. Okay. So now this is an example of a train. In fact, I wanted to show you something. One video I wanted to show. Let me show it a little later. Now, in this train, how many coaches are there? 3 coaches are there. Now, the third coach is pulled by what? Third coach is pulled by what? What is pulled? Right. Third coach is pulled by second coach. Second coach is pulled by first coach. First coach is pulled by engine. Now engine, what is pulling? Self-driven. It is self-driven. It is something like this. God also is self-sufficient. There is no other external agencies are required to run God. God is Atmaram. He is completely, fully satisfied within himself. There is no external force required for making God run. That's what the point we wanted to convey here. Now, he is the source. Yes. So, but these great But this great personality, now Arjuna is asking, earlier Arjuna asked, demigods don't know, sages don't know about you. Then he says, yes, you don't know, yes, they don't know, because I am the source of everyone. But do you have a source? No, I don't have a source. Now again Arjuna questions, but all this, demigods and all great sages are great personalities, right? They are having great qualities. How could they don't know? How could they don't know? Then Krishna says, all the various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. Me alone. ఎవరైనా ఒక మంచి క్వాలిటీ ఉన్నంత మాత్రాన మొత్తం తెలుసు అని అనుకోకూడదు మనం. But now in this material world, most of the things, someone does a great thing. For example, some philanthropic activity someone is doing. He's giving saris, food, everything to poor people. That's a good act only. Good act. I'm not against it. But the thing is, when he is not doing the same activity by keeping Krishna in the center, it is unnecessarily giving a wrong impression. So what people think, wow, you are the God, you are the Bhagavan. But from where he is taking all these things? From where he earned all these things? So he is not, that great quality might be there, but if he is not keeping Krishna in the center, it is only he is doing good karma, where he is increasing the good karma and increasing the karma balance and planning for going to heavenly planets. Okay, that's what he says. Now, but the great all the various, but these great sages and all, he says, so there are Sapta Rishis, Chatur Kumaras, there are 14 Manus there. One who factually knows these opulences is always connected to me. So Krishna is saying the same thing. It's not that sages or demigods only, anyone devotee who are factually knowing about my opulences is always connected to me. Always. దాని కనెక్షన్ అంటే సపరేట్గా తాడు పెట్టి చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. మనకిన కృష్ణుడి గొప్పతనం గురించి తెలిస్తే గిన, ఆర్ ఇఫ్ యూ నో అబౌట్ కృష్ణాస్ ఆపులెన్సెస్. అండ్ డూ యూ నో హౌ మెనీ ఆపులెన్సెస్ ఆర్ దేర్ ఫర్ కృష్ణ? హౌ మెనీ ఆపులెన్సెస్ ఆర్ దేర్ ఫర్ కృష్ణ? Yes, countless are there, countless. Okay. Now we go to Chatushloki. Now Chatushloki is the, as I mentioned, Chatushloki is the essence of Bhagavad-Gita. Already I told, middle 6 chapters are the cream of Bhagavad-Gita. First 6 chapters Karma Yoga, last 6 chapters Gnana Yoga, middle 6 chapters Bhakti Yoga, and in this Bhakti Yoga from 7 to 12, 9th and 10th chapter is again cream. And again in the cream, if the entire 700 shlokas of Bhagavad-Gita are to be concised into 4 shlokas, these are the 4 shlokas. Chatushloki. Only no one can do it, only God can do it. Enta complex thing ni kuda muddalaga cheyagaladu. Similarly, we are having a Bhagavatam, 18,000 shlokas, but he has consolidated in 4 shlokas. Chatushloki in Bhagavatam also there. 18,000, only God can do. Only God can do it is something like a zip folder. I don't know. Satya Prabhu and Chinnappa Prabhu, I don't know whether they don't know. They know. Zip folder ante telusa Prabhu computer lo? Zip folder. Vinnara? Zip folder, I think rest of the people might be knowing it. Zip folder is a, mana computer lo entante chaala file, there are so many files. Chaala files, there are say 100 files are there. A 100 files యొక్క size ఆల్మోస్ట్ 4 GB ఉందనుకోండి, 4 gigabytes ఉందనుకోండి, దాన్ని కన్సైజ్ జిప్ చేసి ఒక 1 MBలో చేసుకోవచ్చు, 1 GBలో చేసుకోవచ్చు. జిప్ ఫోల్డర్ అంటారు అనమాట. ఆ మొత్తం 100 GBలు ఉన్నది 2 GB పట్టవచ్చు. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ జిప్ ఫోల్డర్. మీ అబ్బాయిలతో అడిగితే తెలుస్తుంది మీకు. వెరీ కామన్ థింగ్ జిప్ ఫోల్డర్. అంగ మిగతా వాళ్ళంతా తెలుస్తుంది. యు నో ఇట్ రైట్? సో జిప్ ఫోల్డర్ అలా మొత్తం కన్సైజ్ చిన్న దాంట్లో పెట్టినట్టు కృష్ణుడు కంప్లీట్ భగవద్గీత 700 శ్లోకాస్ని ఈ చతుశ్లోకిలో చెప్పబట్టడం జరిగింది. చతుశ్లోకి. ఓకే. సో now in this Chatushloki, only as I mentioned, only a God can do this. Only a God can concise it in a simple format. Now in this Chatushloki, if we there is a millionaire, one story, small story. There is a millionaire and he has a kid, and that kid is mentally retarded or in the middle, after he is being born, he gets a mental ailment, and due to this mental ailment, he gets lost somewhere. He gets lost somewhere, and they try to search. Parents try, but they are millionaires. Parents are millionaires, but somehow due to some issue, he gets lost, and he's mentally retarded also. What are we going to do? They are millionaires. What are the steps they are going to take to find the child? Please tell. A millionaire lost his child. He's not died. He lost somewhere due to mental issue. He got lost somewhere, and somewhere in the streets he got lost. Now what they will do? Mother she is very not happy. What things they will do to get back to normalcy? Come on. Tappena parla. Punishment లేదు. You got the question right? Question is right. Okay. Now tell me, what are the steps they are going to take to get the child back and make him normal?
Public announcement.
Huh?
Public announcement.
Public announcement. Okay. And
police complaint.
Huh? Police complaint. Okay. Okay. Anyway, Prabhuji, Sanjay Prabhuji and Satya Prabhu mentioned. So these two things come under search. They will search. Search is one category. Okay. Once they search and they found the child, then what they will do?
They will thank God.
Thank God for that. Okay. Next.
So they will hug the child and then
प्यार करेंगे. पर वो तो मेंटली रिटार्ड है. ओनली प्यार तो चलेगा नहीं.
वो मेंटली रिटार्ड है, बट पेरेंट्स के लिए तो वो
हाँ, right. So first one is search, second one is cure. They will try to cure the mental illness or whatever the illness he is having. Since they are millionaires, they can spend money and get that cured. Third one is connect, right? Search, cure and return. After cure only he will be understanding that my parents did that, and he'll go back, right? Vasanta Kokila. Seen, right? Vasanta Kokila. Sadma, Hindi movie, Sadma. So after she gets cured, she goes back. Right? Everyone has seen Sadma?
other person got bad.
Huh? Other person. I'm only talking about that lady. Leave about that person. I'm just trying to correlate the heroine. Anyway, that's not an apt example, but yeah. So once he gets cured, he returns back lovingly with their parents. So that's what we need to understand. And this Chatushloki is very important. Very important, why I say? Because it is the essence of all the Bhagavadgita. So 10.8, 9 and 10, 11, yeah. So here, as I mentioned, for any process to work, like our requirement is to remember Krishna, to worship Krishna, to pay obeisance to Krishna, to work for Krishna. So these are the things. But for that final outcome to happen, we need to know Sambandha Gyan. We need to first understand the relationship between us and God. Number one, that is Sambandha Gyan. So in the Chatushloki, that is in the four prominent shloka, first shloka is about Sambandha Gyan, the relationship between God and us. Second is Abhideya Gyan. What is the process? What is the process to get connected to God? That is Abhideya Gyan. Next is Prayojana Gyan. Final result, Krishna Prema. Final. Usually it happens in our corporate projects also. First we take the requirement. First we take the relation or requirement we take, and we try to understand whether that particular, how it is good for us as a company. Is this really project going to help us to build a good profile for the good portfolio for the company? How much benefit? What is the relationship between that project and our company? Is this relationship really going to help us in our project? That's what the most of the projects happen in our corporate. Requirement or relation we will understand. Then process, how to make that project successful. What process we need to follow to make that project successful is the second step. Finally, result. How much benefit? $5 million benefit we are going to get a company. Similarly here, Prayojana Jnana is result. Final result is Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema. Okay. So how are they achieved? They are mentioned in this 4 slokas. So 10.8 is about the relationship. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvita. I am the source of all spiritual and middle words. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts out. All their hearts out. So here the relationship Krishna mentions about us and God. Who really knows about Him, they will be situated there. Recently, one of the earlier, a couple of years back, I met one family member whose father or a male head of the family has left his body, and they were saying, his father was saying, my son was a great person. My son, office people loved that he does multitasking. He does lot of things at the same time. People used to appreciate him. People used to talk very good about him, talk very nice about him. He used to do multitasking, like the multitasking word he used several times. But would Krishna like that? Krishna would like a person who is a devotee of him. That person was a devotee of him. He used to chant the Lord's names. He used to propagate the knowledge of the Lord. He used to do sincere, whatever the minor thing is there, he used to do it sincerely. Barsana Mataji. I don't know, somehow Barsana Mataji's example really is reverberating in my mind for so many days. I told about Barsana Mataji, right? 2 weeks back she left her body, and we were there when she left the body. And she was not a great leader. She was not in a leadership roles at all. And she was a simple Mataji. Only whatever the service, menial service she could get, she used to do sincerely. That's what she says. Pedda service but whatever even garlanding for the deities also, anything, whatever the simple thing, she used to do it sincerely. Krishna would have liked that. Multitasking chesanu, idi chesanu. That is the material standards, material calculation.
What is the different tasks? That is equivalent to a sweeper doing cleaning road.
Yes, both are same only. No difference at all. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటి ఫోన్లో పని చెప్తూ ఇంకో చేత్తో ఊడుస్తూ 2 పనులు ప్యారల్ చేస్తున్నట్టే కదా. సో మల్టీ టాస్క్ అంటే ఇది అన్నెసరీ ఇన్వైటింగ్ అనదర్ లైఫ్ టు టేక్ యాజ్ అ బర్త్ యాజ్ అ స్పైడర్. వేర్ స్పైడర్ డస్ 8 కాళ్ళు కదా. There are even some living entities with 10 or 12 legs also. With 10 or 11 legs, he can do more multiple tasks. Octopus. One hand it eats, one hand it serves, one hand it swims. Octopus, 8 tentacles are there, right? It also is doing multitasking. Unnecessarily we are inviting another birth where you can do multitasking. It is not a great thing, Prabhu. The same multitasking, if you are doing it in Krishna's service, that's a different thing. That's it. There are so many senior devotees where they work, where they work in the office, they manage lot of things parallelly. I don't want to quote the names because in the last 5 years I have seen, and I never used to believe that much multitasking can people do. But I have seen devotees in the last 4 to 5 years who have been doing multitasking left and right. But all the multitasking they have been doing in the service of Krishna. I should have put it in aeroplane mode. So we need to understand, Prabhujis and Matajis, we should go with a consciousness of a devotee, not as a material perfections. చాలా మంచివాడండి, చాలా గొప్పవాడండి, అసలు 3-4 పనులు ఒకేసారి చేశాడండి, ఆఫీస్లో అందరూ ఇతన్ని పొగట్టమే. మంచిదే, ఇట్స్ నాట్ నథింగ్ రాంగ్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. బట్ వీ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ దిస్ షుడ్ బి డిప్లాయిడ్ ఇన్ Krishna service. Krishna would not like that. Krishna would have liked that he devoted his life to me. In whatever menial way, whatever simple thing. That Basana Mataji, she knows that within 4 days she is leaving her body, and she was preparing a garland for Shivaram Prabhu to garland him, because he is coming to sing bhajan for her. In the deathbed she was preparing garland. Now really Prabhuji said, Mataji, that Mataji really touched so many souls in Gachibowli Satsang, Prabhuji. In fact, I never saw anyone living in front of me. I don't know whether I should call it as fortunate or unfortunate, but lot of realizations have been there for lot of devotees who were there at that moment. You have seen that video, right? We were thinking, I was just thinking, Krishna would have come to take her, because Krishna mentions, right, those whose entire life they have been devotees, and at the end of the life, if they are not able to utter my names, I will personally come and take. But if they are not able to utter, Vishnu Dutas would be coming. We were arguing, our devotee community, we were arguing, no, Vishnu Dutas had come, they would have touched us and gone, they would have seen us. I was saying, not Vishnu Dutas, Krishna would have come, because at that juncture, she was not able to utter, or she was not able to, because her condition was not supporting her to utter the names. So probably Krishna himself would have come. That was the argument going on between us. She was a very simple devotee. She was a very simple devotee. No one knows. Probably she was not that popular. Generally, who does preaching, people know, because they go to different colleges or different platforms to talk. People might be knowing preachers, but she was not a preacher also. She was a simple lady from Prakasam district, Darshi. Okay, so Aham Sarvasa Prabhu. That's all. So first one is establishing the Sambandha relationship. So Krishna, in the top 4 shlokas of Bhagavadgita are these 4, and the first one is he established a relationship between us and God, and he wants us to be worshipping him. And second one is Machitta Gata Prana, where he talks about process. Machitta Madagata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kadhayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. That is a process. Conversing about me, bliss from always enlightening one another. Yesterday we were there in Vaishnava Seva Kunj. Prabhuji and Mataji, you need to be associated with the devotees. Here in the preaching, we tell, sometimes, let me tell you, have you come in your lives, you might have seen something. In your schools and colleges, the lecturer might have told some subject or concepts in your class, and you will understand. But when you personally meet him, there is one additional 1 or 2 tips he gives. Have you come across with that scenario? I have seen a lot of times. Because in the class, it's not that he should not tell to everyone, but no, and his intention is not to tell also. But when we probe him separately, the more knowledge comes from him, and we gain from it. Yesterday we were in VSK, Vaishnava Seva Kunj, myself and a couple of devotees. And I personally had a good conversation, and in fact Sanjay Prabhu was also there. And some things openly is not discussed in public forums, where we will be getting more knowledge about the Lord, because there are some sensitive things. Probably one sensitive thing I can quote it. Chintamani, right? Chintamani, and who was the other character? Chintamani and other character name. Harish. Who is the other character name? Chintamani పేరు వినే ఉంటారు కదా మీరు. Chintamani. ఇప్పుడు పద్యాలను పాడేవారు ఇప్పుడు కానీ చింతామణి ఎవరితో మాట్లాడుతుంది? Is it not Bilvamangala Das Thakur? Bilvamangala Thakur, na? Bilvamangala Das Thakur and Chintamani. You know what? Spiritual master greatness is he has taken birth as a prostitute to take his disciple to go to Godhead. That is, Chintamani was a spiritual master of Bilvamangala Das Thakur in earlier life. Since he could not perfect his life, he came back as a prostitute to take his disciple back. And anyway, a lot of discussion has happened on that front and all. We discussed a lot of things. You know, that's why that Krishna is telling the process. You know, Krishna is telling the process. Like, you know, the thought of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction. When we work for Krishna, when devotees work for Krishna, you really can't estimate the kind of joy or happiness they derive from this. You have to experience it. That is inexplicable. That which can't be conveyed only by mere words. That is inexplicable. అండ్ మనం నోటీస్ చేసాం లేదు, దేవుడి కార్యంలో ఏం ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్ లేకుండా దేవుడి కార్యంలో నిమగ్నం అయితే ఆ ఆనందమే వేరు. సో దట్స్ వాట్ ఇట్ టెల్స్. సో అండ్ దే డిరైవ్ గ్రేట్ సాటిస్ఫాక్షన్ అండ్ బ్లిస్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆల్వేస్ ఎన్లైటనింగ్ వన్ అనదర్. ఒక్కొక్కరిని ఇన్స్పైర్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉండటం. మా గ్రూప్లో సపరేట్ గ్రూప్ ఉంది మాది. అంటే ఎవరైనా ప్రభుజీ సమ్వన్ ఈస్ డూయింగ్ ఎ గుడ్ వర్క్ ఆర్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటెడ్ మోర్ భాగవతమ్స్, వీల్ అప్రిషియేట్ హిమ్ లెఫ్ట్ అండ్ రైట్. No, it's not that fake. There are, especially in the material world, we fakely also we have to appreciate. We don't like our boss jokes, but we still laugh. Ye joke arandi. What a joke you did, right? For maintaining material relationships, we sometimes do fake things, fake appreciations we do. Em puttavara nu manishivi kaadura babu, nuvu kyakara nu పొగుడుతాం, అన్ని ఫేక్లే. ఇది భౌతిక జగత్తులో బతకడానికి పొట్టకూటి కోసం వేల విద్యలని ఇది ఒక విద్య. కానీ భక్తుల సాన్నిధ్యంలో ఉన్నప్పుడు నిజంగా ఒకరినొకరిని ఇన్స్పైర్ చేసుకుని ఇన్స్పైర్ ఈచ్ అదర్. లిటరలీ వి ఇన్స్పైర్ ఈచ్ అదర్. సో దట్స్ వాట్ హీ టాక్స్ అబౌట్. యునో, ఆల్వేస్ ఎన్లైటింగ్ వన్ అనదర్ అండ్ కన్వర్సింగ్ అబౌట్ మీ. Actually, I wanted to know about Chintamani and Bilvamangala Das Thakur past time. So I don't know complete story, but I requested one of the senior devotees yesterday to tell about him, to know more about him, to know more about Krishna. Okay, so that's what he talks about in the second sloka, Madchitta Madgata Prana. Next one is Tesham Satata Yukta. Then now it is a result. What is the final result? He talks here. Ninth sloka, 10th sloka. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. This is a very this is something we need to experience it, okay? And I have personally seen in the last 2 to 3 years with lot of devotees also. You know, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. ఈ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ లోపల కృష్ణుడు లోపల నుంచి ఇస్తాడు, అందరికి ఇవ్వడు. He wanted to reserve that because you know Krishna doesn't want to tinker with our free will. But is Krishna great or devotees great? భక్తులు గొప్పవాడా, దేవుడు గొప్పవాడా? కమా ఎవరు ఓకే, మీకు మిగతా వాళ్ళు ఏమంటారు? భక్తుడు గొప్పవాడా, కృష్ణుడు గొప్పవాడా? డివోటీ. మీరు బాగా డెప్త్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయారు. వాట్ అబౌట్ అదర్స్? ఈజ్ డివోటీ గ్రేట్ ఆర్ కృష్ణ గ్రేట్? Why?
They have this.
Huh? Okay. I think I am very fortunate to get good devotees here. Otherwise, had it been a normal platform, a lot of questions would have come. Yeah, you are 100% right. 100% right. Because Krishna never forces. Krishna never forces us. But भक्त लोग क्या, प्रभु जी आओ ना, प्रभु जी सेशन को आओ ना, प्लीज कम एंड लिसन टू ಏನಕ್ಕೇನೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮಂచి ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಉಂಡೆ ರಂಡಿ अच्छा प्रसाद है आओ प्लीज लिसन टू कृष्णा's मैसेज. फोर्स करते हैं लोगों को कुछ ना कुछ करके, आओ प्रभु जी आप क्या साहब आप तो बिंदास. क्या क्या भक्त लोग क्या क्या करते हैं मालूम है? व्हाट दे डू they fake appreciation they do sometimes. మీరు మనుషులు కాదయ్యా మహాపురుషులయ్యా, మీరు పురుషులు కాదయ్యా మహాపురుషులయ్యా, రండయ్యా. మీ అంత గొప్ప వాళ్ళు ఎవరు లేరండి, రండయ్యా సెషన్కి. So they do lot of things to make them hear Krishna's message. But if the people are not coming, are they discouraged? If the people are not coming, are they discouraged? No, because Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana. He sees that effort. He doesn't see about the result. He sees the effort. Has he put the effort genuinely or not? Whether come or not, Krishna will take care. But whether my devotee has put the sincere effort in ensuring, and it's indirectly, devotees are working for Krishna. Devotees are Krishna's employees. Devotees are Krishna's employees, where they are doing without any monthly salary. Are they expecting anything from others who are hearing? Are they expecting anything? So that's what Krishna mentions about the result. Those who understand my relation and those who understand the process of how to come to me. What is the result? They will also devoted to me, serving with me with love. I give them the understanding which they can come to me. He will give the understanding from within. That understanding he doesn't give to others, because they don't know the value of that knowledge. And just think about this particular part where assume that Krishna is giving an understanding for a non-devotee. If he gives an understanding, there is no use at all, because he might be misusing it. Okay, that's what Krishna mentioned in the important third shloka. Now fourth shloka is tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamah nashayami atma bhavasto gnana deepena bhashvata. So what is he saying? To show them special mercy. Here it is. To show the special mercy to the devotees. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born from ignorance. So that's what Krishna gives. Okay, these are the 4 Chatushloki, which is the 4 important shlokas of entire 700 Bhagavad-Gita shlokas. But now he is also saying, Arjuna, what is it? After receiving all the knowledge, he gives a feedback देता है. So sometimes our kids also we do right, after पूरा knowledge और पूरा lesson का chapter पढ़ने के बाद, daddy you don't believe me, I read completely, you don't believe me, I will tell. So like that he or she reiterates, right? ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮವ నువ్వు, you don't believe me, ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮವ నేను చెప్తాను చూడు. Like that he reiterates, Arjuna reiterates, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. నేను విన్నది రైట్ అయినా కదా కృష్ణ? Did I hear right only? Is my conclusion right or not? Like that he reconfirms Krishna with this statement. Okay? Now, so now, he talks about when he gives that feedback, Krishna says Do you, sometimes people get a knowledge, and Adya gives that knowledge back to his dad, and dad in reverse asks, do you 100% believe? Because a lot of people know, we know, right? Like దేవుడు ఉన్నాడు, అందరు నమ్ముతారు. ఇండియాలో whoever have taken birth in India, they know that God is there, right? Yes or no? God is there. But they 100% have faith that God is there. So again, for whatever the feedback Arjuna gives, again Krishna asks, do you really seriously believe it? Do you really seriously believe it? That's what Krishna asks. Now, it's not only me, Krishna, even the great sages also confirm this about you. That's what, just switch on karna bas. So great sages also confirm the same thing. It's not only me, Krishna, great sages also confirm the same with me, and